fine. Was legani chisikalo. Maybe ga ik me gaan moer bij Lailula, bij mij die mij stalkus, die mij lusole. Svitker brings in the Maamar of his Yom Histalkus Nemelula. What does that mean, right? So there says in order 2 that this Maamar is nitan idei bal ha-Maamar ligu trap tzeit of dem Histalkuse. The Fidik Rebbe gave it out, the yartit of his grandmother, Rabbi Sinifka, for the New Shtat. So it was basically given to learn for the day that he passed away. Speaker brings in the Maamar, these are the Shabbat. Then came legani legnuni. Welcome, so you got about Chil. Mother Shabbat Haichis, what does it mean legani? To my bridal chamber, to the place that was my main dwelling from the beginning of creation. Iker Shchina v'tachtenim haisa, because Iker Shchina was in Tachtenim, in Dafka, in this world, in the beginning of creation. Hashem is just coming back to where he is meant to be. Elo. Because of whatever the Vedas were through all the generations, slowly the Shechina went back up. Chakach on the tzaddikim, Maskim Avraham Avinu. Echad Haya Avraham, V'hiridu Es HaShechina L'maydu L'mato. This was the tafkid of tzaddikim. Afterwards, starting from Avraham Avinu, they brought back the Shechina each Rekia downwards. Atra Bal Moshe, Shu Ashvi, Dechal Ashvi and Chavivin, V'hiridu L'mato Boret, from Moshe, the seventh. The seventh, the special Maila, special Chavivus, is able to bring down the Shechina tafka back to the Eretz. The Inyan Zeh, Yida Sam Shach the Shechina L'mato Boret, it's not Seb Ikra, the Amishkon Shach Moshe. This in bringing the Shechina and Dafka down to this world was the Iker made through the Mishkan that Moshe made. The Eibishter says that when we make a Mikdash, which refers to the Mishkan, that's when Hashem will rest among the Yidden. So komt is that the Iker Inyan of Shechina, Hashem resting Lamato, is Dafka through the Mishkan. Moshe made the Mishkan. The Koyach of the Shvi to bring down the Shechina was mainly in the Mishkan. This is why the Mishkan was made out of, the Kroshim were made out of Atzei Shit. Because how do you bring down the Kashri Lamato specifically through the Aveda of Eskafi and Esach? Kamai Melukat Eskafi, Sita Acher, Estal, Kort, Kushabricha, B'cholom. When you are Koifa the Klipa, specifically in a way that you transform it, that causes istalik yakara, a revelation of a very high level of Hashem's glory and all the ilamis. This is referring to, with this istalik yakara, it's referring to a revelation of atzmos eiring seif that has no relation at all to ilamis. This is why uses the expression of istalik. This is what it speaks about in the Maamar of Basi Legani Tofshin Aleph at length. That Fishul Gili Hoyer Shebechinas Remus. Istalik doesn't mean that it's a revelation that's not present, that goes away. It means that the revelation that's there in a way that it's detached, in a way that it's too high to be able to relate to Elamis. So, in other words, the opposite, you're revealing a very, very high level of the Eibishter down here. That's what it means, Istalik Yikar Kutabrich. This is the level of Iker Shechina. Kivan Sham Shachazuhi, they are the Skafi Ves Hapche. So, because of you seen the Zay, how do you bring down Iker Shechina? Lamat, through the Aveda Ves Hapche, Lachein Haya Mishkan Yatzei Shit. This is why the Mishkan was made about Shitim. Shitim, Miloshin Shtus. Shitim, same language as Shtus, which means to go off from the straight path of Kedusha. And in this case, Hainu Shtus, this is the Shtus of Klipa. Like Chazal say, the Meivra Aveda, Alam Kein Nichlas Beiruach Shtus. Any Aveda a person doesn't come from his real self. It's coming from a ruach of shtus, going off the right way that overcame him. Through making the Krashim out of the Mishkan of the Asay Shittim, that you transform that shtus to be the opposite of shtus of Kedusha. Yes, you're not just doing the Skafia. You're taking the power of shtus, and instead you're using the shtus of Kedusha. Asay Shittim, you're making it Krashim out of that shtus. It means going in a way of higher than Seichel in Kedusha. Like that's how you bring down the Iker Shechina of the V'shachanti B'soicham into this world. Right? So this is the Sikkum of the first Ois of Basi Legani. Fine. I'm sure I'm Maamar, and then the Fidik Rebbe continues in the Maamar in the second page. This is also why one of the Avedas, skip the parentheses for a second, he Avedas HaKarbanos. One of the Avedas in the Mishkan was Aved of Karbanos. Yeah, so here in the parentheses, the Rabbi adds, Shleimar, Pirush Achas Avedas, who Aveda HaMyuchedes V'Ha'ikrish Mikdash. What does it mean? One of the Avedas. So when you say the Lashon Achas, so that brings from a Tosfos, Achas means the special, the unique one, the unique Aveda. So when we're saying one of the Avedas in the Mishkan, it means that it was the most important, most special Aveda of the Mishkan. This is connected, from the Rambam, that the point of the Beis HaMikdash was Lies Bayis Muchan Lies Makrim Be'ar Karbanos. That it should be a house that should be prepared to bring Karbanos in it. In other words, this was one of the central ideas of what the Beis HaMikdash was there for. So this is why in the Maamar it says Achas Avedas. Okay. So connected with this theme of the transformation of Shtus Aliyum as a Shtus Kedusha, which makes it every Tachtein makes bring the Geshchina down here. This is why the Aveda of the Karbanis was so central in the Beis HaMikdash. The Aveda is a Karbanis he Shaloich in the Heim. What do you do when you make a carbon? You take an animal. Something physical, and then you make from it a carbon to the Eibusha. You're transforming it, plus the Gashmis. It's being burnt as a carbon for Hashem. More specifically, according to the Alter Rebbe, explained on the Pasuk, the language of the Pasuk is strange. It doesn't say a person from you when he will bring a carbon. It says a person that will be makriv from you. So it sounds like he's saying that the person is being makriv from him. So why is it saying that? Not only does you have to bring a physical animal, you should also be bringing a carbon from yourself. Which means from the animal that's within a person's heart. Yeah, you're bringing an animal, but the animal that you have in your heart. So this is the same idea of Skafi Neshapchat. You're taking your animal, your Nefesh Bahamis, and bringing it closer to the Eibishter. Through him transforming a physical animal and his own animal to Kedusha. This, like we said before, the koyach of Skafi Neshapchat reaches in Atos in Seif, Iker Shechina. This is also connected, as the Zohar says, the secret of a carbon goes up until the secret of Ein Seif, because, like we said, Iskafi Neshapchat reaches Atzmus. This is what comes down Lamata. Kabbanis, we see these two sides. One hand it says that it's a good smell for the Eibush. There's two things. Reach, the smell, that's what goes up Lamayla. The Nichayach, Melosha, Nechayis Darga, Lamata. And the word Nichayach is from the same language in Aramaic as going down. So this shows on what happens through the halah of the carbon, that it brings down Lamata. This is what we're saying. Through the karbanis going up, through the avodah v'skafin hapcha, the person's avodah in mishon, lamata, that causes afterwards. We brought down lamata, Basi, legani, legani, we bring down the ikar shchina b'tachtonim. This becomes a theme in the Maamar of the Fidik Rebbe, explaining at length the idea of avodas hakarbanis. Perek Basi. Says the Rebbe, Yeshleimar, says Shmuel Korf, Uvaruch, Binyan hakarbanis. After the Asiyas Hamishkan Nasa Karlich Yesh Chanti B'Seicham, so seemingly the main nakuda of this the Hemshech of the Maamar is to speak about how the Shechina was brought down the Mata through the Mishkan that Moshe Rabbeinu made, the avodah of transforming the Mata into Kedusha, the way it's expressed in the Mishkan, the Inyan of Shtus, and as there's a big arichas about from Sheker turning into a Keresh, about how the Grashon symbolized the avodah of Hapcha. But why is there an arichas about how it's expressed in the avodah of Karbanos? The Mishkan already accomplishes the V'shchanti B'Seicham. Says the Rebbe, the main Hamshachas Ikar Shchina specifically through the avodah in the Mishkan afterwards already put up. There it brings R23. This fits with what we mentioned before. The Rambam says that the purpose of the Beis HaMikdash is to have a house that should be prepared to bring kabbalas in it. In other words, it's not an end for itself. The whole point of the Basi is it should be prepared that when people need to bring kabbalas there, to bring kabbalas. But the ikar inyan is that there should be kabbalas. So the ikar inyan of making a Dibur Tachtonim is specifically accomplished not through the making the Mishkan itself, but specifically the avodah afterwards. Why? Even though it's a very high Hamshach that was brought through the Moshe making the Mishkan, the Yisrael, in our state Yeser, Yidden doing the avodah of Karbanis is even a higher Hamshach. This is also why in the beginning of the Maamar he brings the pasuk that tzaddikim will inherit the land and will rest on it forever. Rabbi explains what that means. Tzaddikim mashkinim, meaning mamshich mashiach and admon v'kadosh yivgidul lamata. Tzaddikim, through them, Yeshua, through them taking over. Tzaddikim inherit Gan Eden through what? Through them being mamshich, sheikh and admon v'kadosh, which is safe, tired and zaychas la'ilmis, in Kirshchina, bringing it down lamata. Why does he bring this additional thing from this pasuk? The Indian is very beautiful without it. So he says, the Fidik Rebbe is being Meram is Bazeh, he's hinting with this. It's not just, 7 tzaddikim, from Abraham till Moshe, Moshe Rabbeinu accomplished Ikri through being the Shvi, through him making the Mishkan. Elo, Gamal di tzaddikim stam, he's adding this Nakuda to stress tzaddikim stam, not only these 7 tzaddikim, any tzaddikim, many of the Rabbeim also accomplish the same thing. Once you make it into tzaddikim stam, every single yid is nichlal in tzaddikim stam. Because all yid are tzaddikim. What are we saying? The lachri am shachar tzaddik tzaddik. Frat ay de mesh. Yo de nim shachar no matter about it. But in other words, these tzaddikim broke through. They caused that the Shit's able to be such a thing as bringing the Shekhinah back. The Frat Moshe who brought it down, that gives the ability to every year to also accomplish the same thing and bring this even more. But he said, Dafke, the Shleimus HaKavanah, the Dir Leib Baruch Tachtenim, Dafke through that, Dafke through the Yidin, not just the Tzaddikim, Dafke through every single Yid doing his Avodah. That's how your mouth from the Kavanah realizes where of Tachtenim. So if that Tachtenim, same Tachtenim, Matam Imenu, the Dafke, the lowest world, Nasa did away, Baruch Leilat Musa becomes a Dir for David himself. Okay, this is why it brings Karbanis, because this is something that Dafke the Eden are doing after the Avodah of Mish. So, this is why the Maamar continues after the whole Arichas but Krushim and how the Mishkan expresses the Avodah of his Hapchav Shlusumas L'Shlustik Dusha. Then he continues in the Perek Yud. Yisrael Mikram Shem Tzivus Havai. Yidden are called the Eibishter's arm. Right, the Tzava who Gam Lashon Sivi explains that Tzava can also mean Tzivyon, can mean in a beautiful image. Inyan not Tzivyon. Yoifi, Yisrael, who, Sheyesh Bohem, Sugim Sheni, Mari Teira V'chulu, Adlan Hashem Shutim. So he explains, so the Inyan of Tzava, the Pashtus, that the Frierdiker Rebbe brings in this Maamar, is to lead up, as we'll see later, the Nekuda of Keach HaNetzach. How, Dafka through the Avodah Mesiras Nefesh, is how you Mamshach Ashmus. That's connected directly to the Nekuda of the Hemshech. How it's specifically accomplished with Avodah V'Ksid Mashiach. That's what passes on the Nekud of an army, of the Ibrigi Gebenkeit of the army, the devotion of the army completely till Mesiras Nefesh. But the Frierdiker Rebbe adds another pirush, which he does not focus on and elaborate on later in the Maamar, this Inyan of Tzava being Lashon Tzivyon, meaning beauty. And what does it mean? That Yidden have many different types of Yidden. There's people that are more Mari Torah, their Inyan is to learn Torah, to the simple people, including also those Yidden that I don't even want to say Pesha Yisrael, those people that it says about them, Pesha Yisrael, that they're also full of mitzvahs like a pomegranate. There's also those type of Yidden, many different colors. So the Frierdiker Rebbe says this shows on the beauty of all the different types of Yidden, Dafka when they're his scholars. Why does he bring this pirush? Says the Rebbe, because he wants to be madgish this nekuda that we're saying. Kol echad miYisrael u'chayil b'tzilis Hashem, tzavim loshen chayil, sheyoytzi l'melchama, lichbei l'soilam v'la'asayze v'l'dira l'yizbarich. Wants to be madgish the part of every single Yid in the Aveda of being a soldier in the army of the Eibishter, conquering the world to make a day with Aftain. Because after through the Aveda of the Yidden comes afterwards, every single Yid, we need him to contribute his part in making the day with Aftain. Okay. Now, getting to the good of the Hemshech continues. Because we're speaking about a war, just like a literal war is connected with Mesiras Nefesh, give up your life for the battle. It's the same thing in this battle. To fight against the Shittim, Yid also has to serve the Eibishter in a way that's higher than Seich, which is Shtus Tektusha. Like he says in the beginning of the Hemshech, you have to have Shtus Tektusha that's higher than Seich. What this means practically is an Avodah in a way Mesiras Nefesh that's higher than Seich. Yes, what Kash is again, it's like a bonus kipshut. This can also be connected with the avoid of karbanis the way it is in the physical way. Ramban says when a person makes a carbon, the person standing there has to think he sinned to the Eibishter physically and spiritually, his nefesh and his guf. So therefore, really, he should be his blood should be spilled and his guf should be burnt. Just like what's happened to the animal. If not for the Eibishter's chesed, that what he's doing is it's like a kapara instead of him. Animal is suffering whatever consequences he should be having. So we see a carbon as Mesiras Nefesh. You're really giving up your life in the carbon. That's what a carbon is really representing. So here the Rebbe connects very nicely the first part of the Hemshech and the second part of the Hemshech, how the Nekuda of the Melchama, you need to have an Avodah that's the mind of Amadas, that's also the Koyach of the Tzava in order to be able to be Menatzeach the war. Maamar, and the Frierdiker continues in the Perek Yud Aleph, it's just like in a physical battle. In order to win the battle, they squander all of the treasures, the Hagam, actually in the Shtamshim, the field of God. Although that usually not only do you use these treasures, even when it's very necessary. these are meant to stay stored away. Say to me, not only that, it's hidden away and sealed from anyone being able to see it. If you have to win in opposition, all of the treasures are squandered. Not only you use them, you squander them without any hagbola. It's used in a way that there is no calculation and no limited system of how you give it out. You give it out without any cheshbonos. Why is that? Once you have to be victorious. This koyach of netzach is rooted in the essence of the nefesh. Over there's no such thing as calculations. And the same thing as Lamailo. The root of netzach, the power of victory, is in Pnimis HaKeser. In order for the army of the Eibush to win over this battle, we give the treasure of the Eibush. And what's the treasure of the Eibush? There's something that's higher than any union of Gilui, just like in the treasure Lamata in the Mashal. Which it says about it that no eye has seen it besides for the Eibush himself as something that's higher than being able to be in his gala. So even that is squandered or to win the battle, to make a dir of Tachtenim. The Eibishter is even Mevazve, these deepest darkness and other course to also come down Lamat, because we have to be Menatzeach, and Netzachon is rooted in Atmos. Yes, friend. Stashen of Arba Maamar. Ta'amal Zehu. Sheiresh HaNetzach B'Pnimis HaKeser. This Nakuda of the Maamar says, the reason why we're revealing these eitzos is because the Sheiresh of Netzach is in Pnimis HaKeser will be Iker al Zesh and the Sin HaSoitzer away from the Bizbus. It's a very interesting Nakuda here. So strictly say this thing. This Hasbara of Netzach being rooted in Pnimis HaKeser is not necessary to explain the etzem inyan that we're revealing the level of Eitzer. The level of Eitzer, of the deepest darkness of Lamailo. This is a big arichis in the last part of the Hemshech to explain what is this level of Eitzer, how it's higher than any union of the Gilui, higher than Erin Seif Lamata in Tachlis, Malaman Kates, deepest darkness of Erin Seif. After that, it's being Nibshach Lamata. So, a pastos and the simple understanding of the Maamar, we're explaining that the reason why we're manching the deepest darkness is because the power of Netzach through the Netzach Nefesh. So revealed Dafka through the Tzavois, through the battle. The Rebbe says here, Be'ikr, it's coming to explain not that it's a minion of being manching the Eitzer, but this, that it's Dafka in a way that it's being squandered. Be'ikr al-Zesh and it's in a Eitzer away from the business. The fact that the Eitzer is being revealed in order to make a dir b'tachtenim, yesh leimar, shezel mipnei shakavod, the dir b'tachtenim, that's a simple thing. The whole point of dir b'tachtenim is to be mamshak atmos. Gemaim Rabbeinu Azakim, b'diuk loshen azah, s'ava chulu dir b'tachtenim. Like the Alter Rebbe's, the famous line from the Alter Rebbe, that why does Chazal use the expression that it was a taiva of the Eibishter, the inyan esava l'mayla mi'atah. The taiva is something that is higher than any logic and any milas. Because the kavanah is an atzmus of the Eibishter. Yeah, we're not saying that we have to be mamshech atzmus. It's connected, but the kavanah is a kavanah of atzmus. Who's it negeya to? It's negeya to the Eibishter himself. This kavanah of der b'tachtin. That's the word of this time. Like we know, all the other timing are not timing that are sufficient for atzmus. Time of der b'tachtin. This is the time of atzmus. It comes from a place that's higher than any time and any mile. So, therefore, the Nesenes Kayach to be matched from the Kavanah is going to be from Atzmus himself. So obviously, it's not just going to be something of and safe. It's going to be something that's deeper than that. It's going to be from Atzmus Maamar. So that doesn't need Asbar. Why the Nesenes Kayach is coming from B'chinas Eitzer. Tam b'sheish hanetzach b'pnimis hakeser. This reason that we're saying that we're revealing Netzach, and Netzach comes from Pnimis hakeser, but Yikar al Zesh, Nesenes Eitzer from the business. That's explaining Why is it in a way of being squandered? Even if you're being given a sinus koyach, it should be in a way that should have some cheshbon. Why is it in a way that's being squandered? Because now we're functioning in a way of netzach, and netzach is rooted in primus hakasa. It's a place that doesn't have cheshbon. Yes, lo hisi. Sinas so it's a breaking of business lots of savai. Tzech samol chamo. Leidak mitzad mol mailo. Lefi the sheish on netzach with primus hakasa. Also the shayakam lots of savai. Yeah, this is adding a pshat word in the hamshach of the Fidik Rebbe. This, that the squandering is happening for the army to win the battle, is not only because inside the Eibishter it's coming from a place that he is squandering because we're revealing the koyach hanetzach of the Eibishter. The koyach hanetzach of the Eibishter, primus hakasa, is higher than cheshbon. It's also connected to what the army's avoid. Given shaveda shalom away from the bizbus, the man cheshbon is because their avoid is in a way of squandering, in a way that's higher than cheshbon. Shtos to kedusha shalom v'tamadas, that they are serving the Eibishter in a way that's higher than seichel. Chen heim asini vekelim sheyum shaf lahem ha'oitzer shlomayla ve'oifim the bizbus. This makes them kalim that the oitzer should be nimshach to them in a way of bizbus because their avodas in the same way. Meaning the Eibishter is revealing the keach netzach, keach of atzmus in a way of bizbus because it's negate to him. But because our avodas in such a way as well, higher than seichel, this is why we are able to receive that oir. This is connected also to what the miners madgish at the Eitzris or Dafka Nimshach, the simple soldiers that actually give up their life for Poyim on the battlefield, not for the Sorim that are sitting and planning it out. Because by the soldiers, it's weird, it's in Skala, the simple being given over to the battle, because they're avodas in a way of being given over without the bonus, their whole life is given over to it, that's why it's given over specifically for them. Because they are the ones that are actually making it happen. Okay, this is all a summary until Perek Chai. In the Hamshach of the Fidik Rebbe, the Oisius until Perek Chai. Yeah, so we summarize until Perek Yud over here. From Perek Yud on, Fidik Rebbe gets into explaining, after he gives us a brief definition of Netzach, and how deep it is in a person, explains how the Eitzer is higher than all the innovators, starts explaining the Milo of Insafe. Speaks about Lamata Mata and Tachlis, speaks about Lamila and Kates. Then, this ice is the end of last ice, he already said the Kitzer that because Netzach is rooted in Primus HaKeser, so it's higher than any innovator. And this Perek is where he starts explaining the union of Netzach being rooted in Primus HaKeser. The Perek of this year, explains in the Maamar, the 18th Perek, the Birui, to explain this idea. Netzach is rooted in Primus HaKeser. Yuvan will be understood of Primus HaKosu, Gam Netzach Yisraeli, Shakevli, נחum. The Pasuk says, Gam Netzach Yisrael, Shakevli, נחum. The power of Yidden, the Tzachim of Yidden, will not lie, and will not ever change, because he's not a person to change. Nothing is like to change your mind, go back. Says Netzach Yisraeli נחum. This is what we're saying. The Netzach of Yid will never change, never be able to be changed. This is because Netzach is like the pasuk says. This is a loy adam. So the simple meaning of the pasuk is that the Eibishter, referring to the Eibishter, Netzach Yisrael is referring to the Eibishter. He will never change, never changes his mind, because he's not a person to change his mind. The person changes his mind. He thought that this would be better, and then he thought maybe this is going to be better. He didn't realize something. Could change your mind. Saying an Eibishter doesn't change his mind. It's not a person to change his mind. That's made up of different things. Sometimes this is better, sometimes that is better. The Eibishter, everything is emes because it's emes. But the way we're teaching here, Netzach Yisrael, the union of Netzach, why does that not change? It's because, Al Pi Chassidus we're saying, it comes from a darg of loy Adam. Darg of Adam has an image, has a tzir. This darg that has a tzir, try for there to be changes. In the level of loy Adam, this is referring to previous Hakasa. So there, because Netzach is rooted there, the level of loy Adam, there's no such thing as regretting and changing your mind. So this is an akud. We can explain this by Richson. What's this inyan of this pasuk? What's the inyan of loy Adam? This is the kud of the Isad Fidik Rabbi also to explain this kud of loy Adam. That an Adam is shaykh נחום and loy Adam is not shaykh נחום. Okay, so here we go. Inyan hu. Pasuk zeh. This pasuk the Gamis of Yisrael Demeli נחum Goyim. Meine Shmuel Shol Bakashos Tach Zemeluch. What happened? Shaul wanted to get back to Melukat. What happened? This was after the Milchama of Amalek, that he was told that he's meant to wipe out Amalek, and Shaul did not kill the sheep, the cattle, did not kill Agag, because he had Rachmanas on them. In fact, that would bring Karbanos. So the Eibusher told Shmuel that this is not, Shaul is not a good melech. We're going to give it to David. Give it to someone else. So Shmuel came to Shaul, whole long description over there. And Shaul asked Shmuel, after Shmuel gave him this news, that the Melucha will be given to the Riyacha, Toiv Mimcha, to your friend that's better than you, to David HaMelech. Shaul asked, maybe you thought, maybe we can make this work anyways. Maybe we can do tshuva and get the Melucha back. So Shmuel told him this pasuk of Gam Netzach Yisrael Yishaykav Leinoch. What's he saying? Yeah, simply La'achas Kadosh Baruch Hu Nosan the Melucha LeDavid. Nitno L'Riyacha Toiv Mimcha. Ein Shayach Sheyachzeh B'Yevidim Men HaMelucha. Hashem will not go back on it and now take the Melucha away from David, because the Eibush is not a person that changes his mind. Once he did it, decided, that's it, there's no changes. Okay, so Daik was at Norzakim Terei, Fleck Dal Terei, Pastor Shailan Terei, and he said, Guf, Chidla, Nitnam Luchel Shol, Ukashachat, Nitlam Imenu Amlucha, Muchach, Shagam Lamayla, Shag נחום. Well, look what happened. Well, what are we talking about? We're saying, Luchatchila Shol was given him a Luch. He sinned, Luch was taken away from him. In other words, that things could change. Even the Maamar. The Eibusher gave him the Melucha, and now the Eibusher is taking away from him. And it says clearly in the pasuk earlier, in that inyan, the Eibusher told Shmuel, Nichamti, Kim Lachti, Shalom Melech, says this same exact language, Nichamti, that he went back on it. And then when he starts asking him, maybe we can change it. No, the Eibusher already decided he's not a person that changes his mind. Well, what's the Nukudi? Kuda Sabir says the Kuda of the beer in today is the Kavona Zakos of Kiliyadam Gamer, laid actually the Borgo Enek Bedamatachen Lahavdu. He's not just saying in this pasuk, he's not a person. The person will change his mind. And the Eibusher doesn't change his mind. Ki'im bi'ikish Enekam together Tziradam Hel. Yeah, this is the Kuda that we mentioned before. It's Loy Adam in the previous Akes. It's not an Adam of Lamayla. It's not a Natsir of a Seder, of Ishtalshus. It's not a Natsir of an image of any sort of gim that has a description. There's a difference between the darge of Melucha that Shaul's Melucha came from and the darge of Melucha that David's Melucha came from. This darge that mitzad that Shaul was a melech was a limited madrega. There's a level of Adam. And this level, say the Rish Talshus, the Rish Reich, they be Nichumen. Because whatever is happening because of whatever Tayalus or whatever Milo that it's meant to have. And that can change because of the circumstances. David's Melucha comes from a level that's higher than Rish Talshus. In that level, there can never be changed. This is what's explained in Terei at length. Yeah? Yeah, this is connected. Just to give a little vart about this. Shaul's Melucha was connected to Seder Shtalshus, David's Melucha was the Seder Shtalshus. So it's connected to this, that we know that David, Malchus David, is a melucha that will never change. It goes on for all of the children of David until Mashiach Tzidkenu. It can also come from David Ushleime. Shenk and Shaul was a one-time thing. He was a melech, and it didn't pass on to his children. Yeah, because melucha was given over to David. What do you mean melucha was given over to David? That the inyan of melucha be'etzem was shaykh to David. In other words, it's in the concept of melucha that a person without his milas is worthy to lead a country. That can come from the milas of the person. Yeah, you know, but always saying the shikm of a milah gavim and kol. Then there's an akud, the melech ba'atzem. What makes him a melech is because he's in essence a person that's in a different realm from everybody around. That koyach of melucha is an inyan atzmi, something that comes from the essence of his nefesh, that he's in a different level than everybody. And that's what makes him be able to be a leader. So that nekuda is something that comes from having the shalshus. It doesn't come from weighing miles against other miles. It's from having some nekuda of gilui atzem that is not there by other people. This nekuda is the nekuda malchus David. It comes from a place that's higher than נחum of the Shiur. But anyways, the there explains this in Avodah at length. Now, yes, ladies. The Masha Kosu Kuli Adam Stam. After Kavanas HaKosu Sheina Begeder Tzir Adam Heli. Al-Chayda, based on what we're saying, when we say that he's not a person, we don't mean that he's not a person, like a person, a physical person. Because, like we said before, there is shaykh by the Eibush Inyan of נחum in the darge of Adam Heli. So we want to be shayl that he's not the Begeder Adam Heli. Why does the pasuk say Kli Adam? It makes it sound like we're being shayla. He's not a person to stand. Fi shamit is vikerin Adam hu b'Adam elyon because Adam. Why should the pasuk not say Adam stam? Adam stam is Adam elyon. That's the real inyan of Adam is an Adam elyon. What does Adam mean? The word Adam. Adam means similar. Similar to who? Similar to the Eibush. Because the Eibush there's a tzir of Adam Elyon, and a person is in that image. So in other words, the Iker Inyan of Adam is the Adam of Lamayla. What's this Adam of Lamayla? Like we see in the Merkava of Yechaskav, Musakizit, Muskamari Adam. The tzir that's been carried by the Chayas, there's an image like a person. Which is the Seder of Atzilus. Because that's the Iker Inyan of Adam, so that's why the pasuk says Adam Stam, Adrab. Not going against the pshat, Adrab, that's the most pshat thing to say. Adam is Adam Elyon. Same as one, even more than that. Even that Adam Shalakise, like it says in Yecheskel, it's only in the image of Adam, but it's not a real Adam. Why? Adam Shalakise should be Bria. Kise Akavid Bria, that Mus came out of Adam. This, that there's a unit of kisei, of a cheer, if this Adam is being revealed on a kisei, so that means Bria. Bria is Eilam HaKisei, yeah, Kursaya, the world of a cheer, meaning it's the world of the Eibush that is revealed in a way that he's already lowering himself into Nivraim, Eilam HaBria, Nivraim. So if Adam is being revealed there, then it's not going to be the Adam himself. The Adam himself, the real image, basically, is the image that the Eibush revealed himself in. That's the spirits of Asil. That's the real union of Adam. That image. That there's a revelation of Adam, the Mus, Kimari Adam, on this Kisei, the way he's already revealed in Ibrahim, so it's not the Adam himself, it's just the way, it's in the vision of the Adam of Atzilus. Prati Sheser, more specifically. Really, in Atzilus, you can also make the same division. Adam Uzad Atzilus. Adam himself is Zah of Atzilus, the Midas of Atzilus, the Eirampi. Malchus Atzilus, he came out of Adam. And Malchus Atzilus is what reveals itself, like the vision of the person to come down into the Nivram. And really, you could take it back even further. Gam Zah, who that came out of Adam, well, the Maamar is about it. Yeah, the Eirampi. Zah is only the smaller version of the image. The real image is in Arich and Arichampin, the longer, greater revelation of that seer. the way it is in Arich and Kesser. In Chatzon Yisach Kesser. So, this is what we're saying, that the Eibush is not an odd to change. Adam Stam, Koi, Adam Elgin, Adam that. Who's Adam? Say Adam Stam, going to the Eibush, the Adam of the Eibush, which really goes back until the Adam of Arich. Loi Adam, who is the Loi Adam? Who Atik? That is Atik. Atik in Shak, נחום V'Charata, Dafk in the level of Atik, that's where there cannot be a change. So in other words, what the Rebbe did here is, the Rebbe showed that in this pasuk of Nezach Yisrael, Shakar Nachum, we see that Dafke, where is not saying that Bechlal by the Eibishter, it's not Shaykh Nechumen. By the Eibishter, there is Shaykh Nechumen in a Darga of Adam. Where is the Darga of Adam? The Rebbe took it back until Arich, till Chatzon Yisach Kesser. Dafke in Atik, in Yisach Kesser, that's where it's Lo Adam, that's where there is not Shaykh Nechumen. What's the explanation for this? That in a Adam, Shaykh Nechumen. So, like I said before, in a person, Kipshute, it's simple to understand. Once you're trying to define essence of Adam, right, the real meaning of Adam, the Maamar, Shaykh Nechumen, so we have to give a little bit of a deeper, more essential definition to this Nakud. Hine, Tam was Adam Shaykh Nechum, Bar Ba'amai. The Adam who meichen mitzvahs. What is a person? Person, the essential definition of person is Seichel and Midas. Now, Var, Zeh Adam who meichen mitzvahs. Kavana b'zehi, Shebahamidah sheboi him api Seichel, V'Seichel sheboi Shaykh l'midas. If you're saying meichen and midas, that includes that both are connected to each other, meaning that whatever emotions Adam has is based on how Seichel dictates or shows him what is proper to feel towards, but it's also downgraded in the Seichel. So Seichel is connected to the midas. It's not intellect in itself, it's an intellect that relates to how the person should feel and relate to what's going on around. So two ways. We're going to get into this in Hem Shchamayim. Yeshlein. Ma'av shechaz ba'amayim. She'adam u'meichen u'midas. V'sha ha'meichen v'amidas v'shayachim v'los. Simply, what's the Vedic Rebbe trying to say? Pashat. He's explaining, because the essence of Adam is meichen and midas, and the meichen are connected to the midas, and the midas are connected to the meichen, this is why it's Shaykh Nechama, as we'll explain later in the Maamar. Says the Rebbe, that's not the only thing he wants to say. He also wants to explain the Maila of Adam. Yeah, like we'll explain, we'll explain soon. This is a major Maila, to have Meichen and Midas in a way, and in a way that the Meichen and Midas relate to each other, is a very, very high union. Chosen a major man. And why do you want to bring out the Maila of Adam? So that you in Yaiser, you want to bring out how high this Lo Adam is, that it's even higher than the Maila of Adam. Yeah, this is all derech, the Chlad, this Hemshech is doing. In the Vedic Rebbe, that he's Meirich and Eden Seif Lamata Mata in Tachlis and Seif Ma'il in Kates to bring out the Eloi, the Geidel Eloi of the level of Eitzer. So the same thing, he's Meirich and the union of Lo Adam to give you an understanding. On the dying of Adam, and he's adding these words like we're going to explain to show how great Adam is, so we can understand that Lo Adam is even greater. Yuvimzeh, Pia Yudua, Adam Kalu Mikalu Madregis. Standards according to what's known that a person, Maila, person is someone that's made up of all the different levels. What do we say? So, it's one Maila that a person is made up of, is included in him, all the different types of midas. Animals and trees, say animals and plants, maximum different style of things they can have in themselves are two. They have a certain teva, they have a certain nature, and everything they do is a revelation, an expression of that. Yeah, some are more intense, some are more kind. that star, whatever Indian they are, that expresses itself in everything. But it's only one thing. But we see in a person, it's completely not like that. A person is able to be multi-faced, multicolored, many different types of maisim that are very different from each other. Why is this? Yeah, now is elaborating. All the Nivroim, each one of them have a special midah. Nesher, Achmoni, Oidev, Achzori. The eagle is merciful. The raven is cruel. Geen Malachim. Chol, Ba'avon, Gabriel, Be'ira. This goes back even to Malachim. Oh, Machol, Avon, Gabriel, Be'ira. All the Malachim, they have their nature, their midah. But a person, on the other hand, is made up of all the midas. Midas. In other words, you say, a person has emotions. What that means is basically that he can be in any type of emotion, based on whatever the situation is. But a person having emotions doesn't mean that he has a nature to be one type of emotion. People are not like that. People are able, that when they have emotions, we say that they are able to be any emotion. So, that's number one. We're saying Adam Kolul Mikol Madregas. Made up of all the midas. But here the Lashon is not Kolul Mikol Midas. We say Kolul Mikol Madregas. What does that mean? The Nesef was that Kolul Gam Mikol Madregas, all of the levels. From the highest level to the lowest level. Easy the medrash, as the medrash it brings in the medrash. Adam Nivra min al yonim min atachtein. Person was created. He is made up of el yonim, of the most spiritual, highest levels, and from the lowest levels. That is something that's unique in a person, in addition to the inyan of Iskalos. That he's made up of el yonim and tachtein, ruchnius and gashnius of the highest inyanim and the lowest inyanim. And this is connected, says the Rebbe, this is the ilui of a person having meichin umidis. So Adam meichin umidis. The tava ha-meichin aliyah l'maylo. Nature of meichin is to go up. Tava ha-midis yirid l'mata. And the nature of midis is to go down. So this is al yonim and tachtainim. Meichin is al yonim and midis is tachtainim. Kiven sh'adam kol al yonim and tachtainim. Yishneyam yachad. And because the person is made up of all of the madregas, of al-yonim and tachtainim, and this is the pshat when we're saying Adam hu meichin umidis. Because a person is called madregas, and that means al-yonim and tachtainim. So not meichin b'fnei atzmam and not midis b'fnei atzmam is a person. The person is made up of all of the inyanim, of al-yonim and tachtainim. So why is meichin al yonim midas tachtainim? Yeah, just a short hagdara. So he says tava ha-meichin aliyah l'mayla and tava midas yirid l'mata. Meichin's nature is to go higher. Tava, just like the nature of ruchnis, spirituality, something more spiritual it is, the more detached it is, the less tangible it is, the less can be defined. And the nature of midah of tachtainim, of physical, it's the opposite. The more tangible and more felt it is, the more the more it's there, the more it exists. So that is the difference in the nature of meichin midas. The nature of moyach, of intellect, real intellect constantly looks to come to the essence of the idea. And whatever the person is learning, whatever he's trying to understand, it's not just to be able to know how to explain something, be able to have a understanding. You want to have the real understanding. So the brain is constantly, the intellect is constantly looking to try to find the real definition. So first of all, there is a nature of honesty in intellect. In midos, honesty is not an important factor. It's important for the person to feel connected, to enjoy it, to feel like it's his thing. That's all that's important. It doesn't have to be truthful. It doesn't have to be for a real idea, as long as the person feels it. The nature of the midas is to go down the mat, to be more felt and more enjoyable and more connected, more relatable. That it doesn't have to be related to truth at all. Other hand, the general inyan of intellect is the honesty, to know the truth. And even within that itself, it's constantly looking to come deeper and deeper to find what's the essence of that truth, what's the essence of the idea, why it's like that. The nature of Meichin is similar to the nature of spirituality, and the nature of midos is going down the matter of tachtonim. This is why the inyan of Adam is Meichin and midos. It's both of them, because a person is made up of linim and tachtonim. וזהו גם הטעם על זה שהמידס דה אדם על פי שכל, והשכל דה אדם שייך למידס, אף ששכל ומידס הם שני עניינים שונים וגם הפך. This is a very interesting beer. That is a shtickle of a chiddush. This hasbara. To say, why is a person someone? Why does the midas affect the seichel and the seichel affect the midas? Okay, say a person has both. A person has ruchnis and has gashmis. It has an aspect that its nature is to constantly go up higher and higher to be most real, and the nature of midas is to go down and be as relatable and as, you feel connected. So, why do the midas of a person follow his seichel? And why does the seichel of a person come in a way that the person can relate to it a little bit? It's an interesting thing. Inside the seichel, inside the midas, none of them are really what the essence of their nature is meant to be. People that are unstable are too extreme. It's people that are way too in an intellectual world that has no relation to their lives, to their regular feelings. They're not healthy people. There's really almost no one like it. As your Rabbi would say, they're a cloud. Even people that are more intellectual, their midas are also that style. Seichel is shaykh midas, and the midas is also directed by the seichel. People that the seichel doesn't target word to them is also unhelpful. And everyone's seichel is related to the way they feel. In some sense, it could be their seichel is a little bit very grow. But anyways, the seichel and midas are compatible to each other. It's very interesting. If the spiritual kayach, I should say spiritual. If the midas kayach should be as grow as possible. Why is there this mix? Kol inyan shabay hein aseichel the hein hamidis hu mitzad nekudas hashleimu shalei shekilol shnei. Very strong word. You don't have seichel because you're spiritual, and you don't have midas because you're physical. It's not like, you're meant to have ruchnis and gashmis. You have to have an shukis and shahamis. You're meant to accomplish doing yamin. So we're giving you a mix. But it could be in a way that your ruchnis overpowers your gashmis, or gashmis overpowers your ruchnis. It's not stam gedumped here. A person is someone, then a kud of Adam is everything. He's made up of all the madrigas. He's a revelation of Adam Ha'elyon, even higher than that. And the Nekud of Adam is the tzir of all the madrigas. All the madrigas are kol. In other words, he's inyan of shleimus, completion, that he has everything. So why do you have seichel? Because you're meant to have everything. Why do you have midas? Because you're meant to have everything. So therefore, your seichel is going to be shaykh to midas, and your midas is going to be shaykh to seichel. Because the reason why you have it is not because of their inyan kshalatzmam, it's because of them being an expression of the inyan of shleimus. And inside shleimus, the seichel is going to be in a way that will be connected to the midas, and the midas will be in a way that's connected to the seichel, because they're all coming from the same nekuda. This is why the Maamar says this word to Adam u'meichin u'midas. Like we said before, we don't just want to bring out, like we're going to say in the Hamshach of the Maamar, the word of נחum. We want to bring out the ilui of Adam. This that he has the shleimus of all the different dargahs, from the highest to the lowest. This is the reason why he has meichin u'midas. And this is the reason why his meichin is in a way that is connected to the midas, and the midas is in a way that's connected to the meichin. Because this brings out the Gadol Eloi of the Inyan of Adam. That is Tachas HaShleimus. Avol B'Kein, like Adam was even higher than that.